The eyed hawk moth caterpillars all changing to pupa right now. Look at that.
Bentley and I are here to tell you all about International Vulture Awareness Day, which is happening here on the 3rd of September in conjunction with Holdenby House and their gardens opening. We're going to have lots of things going on that day to fundraise for our beloved vultures who are critically endangered in the wild. So there'll be all sorts of things going on for adults and children, lots of talks and displays about the vultures, but also lots of things like raffles, tombola, all sorts of stuff going on to help us raise as much money as we can for poison response kits for International Vulture Awareness Day. And Bentley here is hopefully going to be flying rather than eating everybody's picnics. But we'll do our best, and hopefully Bentley will be a great ambassador for that day. So we look forward to seeing you on the 3rd of September for lots of vulture fun.
Hello, welcome to this week's vlog. Down by the river again, just chilling out. Jackie's picking blackberries. A lot of paperwork again today, just general paperwork really. Running these animal businesses. I suppose running any business, it's just so much claptrap outside the stuff you love. So a lot of that today. Jackie's been up to her knees in a similar kind of stressful event. So we're out relaxing. But what else has happened this week? Well, snake-wise, we've had our last clutch of false water cobras. Look at that. Hatched this week. Well, one slight annoying thing, I brought some really unusual and rare snakes off of probably one of the UK's best breeders, I'm not sure. But certainly a guy that really breeds some great stuff. Contacted him to see if some stuff that I'd ordered this year was ready. Snakes really to grow on to make up unrelated pairs for stuff I've already got. And he said, oh yeah, I should be able to sort you out with those things next year. Which I kind of banked on this year, as was the plan, but that's the way it goes sometimes. The current climate, everybody's worried about spending their pennies, whether it's on fuel bills or just on their hobbies, interests and passions. It's probably not a bad thing, although it takes 3 or 4 years to grow these animals on to breed. I've got plenty of stuff coming on again for next year, as well as all the stuff we're breeding right now. And it's a tough climate really, because even the really most passionate people really are sort of watching their pennies. So maybe it's fate, maybe the same for me, because I had 2 clutches of snakes which would have certainly helped me invest in these more rare and expensive stuff I had ordered that didn't come really to fruition this year. So sometimes you just got to say it's fate, haven't you? What else has been going on? Oh, Kyle and Carly and little baby Lily have been up to Wales, and they've been up there to meet all of Carly's and Lily's other half of the family. Carly's from Wales. Still nice and clear down there. They've been up there. What a girl. So she went to hospital, gave birth an hour later. No pain relief, popped it out. The next day, they were up at the Falconry Centre with baby Lily, because she said, I'm bored, I don't want to stay in the house all day, because these both work outside all day, these guys, Kyle and Carly. And then within about 5 days of the baby being born, maybe less, I can't remember, they were up in the Welsh hillside and valleys, not only meeting family, not only taking Lily out for walking the hills, but also Kyle took Marty, the peregrine falcon that he's been hacking locally. Marty went with them. It was like the wild thornberries. Marty was flying around in the hills above while they were walking with baby Lily down below. I don't think that many people sort of manage all that kind of thing with childbirth and just cracking on with it, but it's certainly the ones that do certainly seem to be the tough country girls for sure. I'm gonna have a poke about, see what I can find. Enjoy the rest of this week's vlog. There's no relax from a tadpole this year. Someone else must have a pond around there. Surely. Loads of toads in the garden, but one or two with sub-adult frogs. Beautiful. We've had a bit of rain. I haven't cut this lawn for 5 weeks. To be honest, it's stayed pretty green, but it's really greened up literally overnight. So just to tidy it up, the old girl's been in action. We've mowed the lawn. It's looking good. Need to trim. What's Jackie doing? Jackie's wheelbarrowing apple tree chippings around to the path towards the wildlife menagerie, just to tidy that up. Thanks to Bob for bringing those up. It's 20, 21, 22 degrees today. Obviously that's in the shade. Look at the sky. This is summer weather for me. A blue sky, a cooling breeze. It's still hot in a t-shirt, but it's realistically, it's only 21, 22 in the shade. And when you've got animals and birds flying in this breeze, it's perfect. This 30, 40 degree stuff, it's hard with the animals. Enjoy the rest of the vlog, and we'll see what we see. Jackie's done all that. A few minutes. Luckily tomorrow, our absolutely magnificent team of gardeners will be here to straighten the place out. I feel smug I've actually mowed the lawn, but I know those guys are gonna put on all the finishing touches that keeps this place looking absolutely fine, really nice. And it is that attention to detail that they do that makes all the difference. What are you doing?
I just enjoy those sunflowers.
Look at that transformation. Thanks to the brilliant gardeners. Look at that. What a difference. And that's what I mean, the little details, and magnificent. They are brilliant. Now, if you keep up with things, you'll know that beautiful boy here, Zeus, he was flown by Kyle, my son, all last Falconry season, last winter. The 2 seasons before that, he didn't get out anywhere near as much as we usually do because we'd taken over running and working on the Falconry Centre. I'd like to think after 3 years of very little proper falconry with an eagle, this 2022 season, Zeus and I are going to get out and do some pretty cool falconry. He is absolutely handsome. He is, well, he's a golden eagle, isn't he? He is the icon of birds of prey. They really are. Everyone's heard of a golden eagle. So, look at these huge talons. This little tiny outside one's just for catching, but those big front and back inner talons, look at the size of them. They are the main weaponry of these beautiful birds. And of course, what makes a bird of prey is its catching with these super strong feet and legs and these huge talons here, not with its beak like the other birds that eat animals have to do. Foxes, deer in the wild on its own, they're within an eagle's capability, no problem. And as you probably know from various documentaries that have become quite fashionable on TV, Mongolian and Kazakh falconry, they're used and employed to actually take down wolves. Phenomenal. This bird flies 8.5 pounds. It's not the weight, it's not the size, it's with a bird of prey, it is all about that weaponry there. That means they can go without food in the case of eagles for quite some time, but they can catch a lot of food in one hit should they need to. He is really my kind of, I guess, my baby. He's 9 years old now. We've been working together since he was 16 weeks. Isn't that just a magnificent creature? And of course, just like a fast motorbike, he might look good sitting there, but when he's doing his thing, using those wings out in the open countryside, that's when he becomes awesome indeed. Jackie's relaxing, doing her favourite thing. So much fruit to be had. We were discussing, it's strange because all of it is just sitting there, and it's kind of, I guess, rotting on the plants to quite a degree now. And I was saying, once upon a time, would the birds have polished it all off? And is it just that we just don't have the bird life like we did 100 years ago maybe? Anyway, it's nice to relax down by the local river, that's for sure. Here's an interesting weed. Greater bindweed. Look at it. Look how it's covering all of that sallow. Fences, gardens, railway banks. What a nuisance. And yet those huge trumpet flowers, beautiful indeed. This plant was brought here, I believe, by the Victorians to England as an ornamental garden plant. You can see why, but my goodness, I should imagine they should have kept control of it. The invasive weed for sure. And on the same note, Himalayan balsam, not bad down here. Some watercourses and areas. This is a really bad invasive, really bad. It's a fun plant in your garden, sadly it is invasive. We're only in August, but the drought has set everything into overdrive. It just feels like autumn. Now it doesn't temperature wise, although it is grey, but you've got the rose hips, you've got all the hawthorn berries, you've got the blackberries just adorning the countryside. The countryman's and countrywoman's friend. The annoying burdock that sticks and comes off on all your clothing in the winter. All the cow passes and that sort of family have all gone to seed. Just look at there. The elder bushes have all look like they're about to drop their leaves, just all going yellow. I'll move my hand out of the way, maybe the phone will actually focus. And absolute elderflower berries everywhere. Weird, skeletal, almost like winter landscape there. It's just, yeah, things have really rushed ahead this year. It's been so hot and dry. My goodness, we've certainly had a dry, sunny summer. Again, all those thistle flowers all gone over, all gone to seed. If you haven't checked out the Quest for the Polecat video, have a look at that. That was a sort of an epic 500-mile trip, well worth it. The baby polecats, oh my goodness, they're great. Have a look at these guys here. They are beautiful and very cute and a lot of fun at the moment. So jobs going on from this week will be to start fitting out their main enclosure because they're soon going to be big enough and hopefully tame enough to move up into their main rather large enclosure. Always lots to do, well worth it I think. what, getting all the prickles.
Yeah.
Don't forget, guys, if you like any content on the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Get to a nice round 1,000 before the year's out. It's really going to boost this channel along from the YouTube point of view, because of course that's when the algorithms kick in and they'll start sharing the content more widely. And if you're watching the vlogs and you've not checked out anything else, check out the playlist, check out Roxy the Fox and the things she gets up to. Watch her adventure and unfold, really. You've got the Falconry playlist, nature, and of course the snakes and reptiles. So hopefully something for everyone who's interested in the countryside and wildlife and animals and plants in general, really. So check out the playlist, have a little look through, see what you think. Come for a ruddy evening walk. She's done about 10 paces. Too many blackberries, like a kid in a sweet shop. I'm going to go ahead and see what we can see. Always worth a check. So what's occurred today? Well, more office work. It's never ending. I've gone through the reptile room, the exotic room, and we've done my sort of twice weekly deep clean, and everything in there is pretty good. All looking well. All the baby snakes are doing well. I had a phone call, reply to an email I sent to Tom Percival, who's the local radio sort of breakfast presenter. And he's going to come out, or his colleague's going to come out next week, hopefully ahead of the Vulture Awareness Day, and do a morning piece, and the girls are going to come along and tell sort of the local area of Northamptonshire what they're doing for Vulture Awareness Day and what you guys can come and see and experience. And also I want to talk to him on air about our baby polecats and the British Wildlife Menagerie and the importance of getting behind British wildlife conservation, let alone the rest of the world. You know, let that conservation start at home, where your kids can really be part of it. So that would be great. Christian Parker, who designs websites and done the Nicholas Falconry website. If you can find any mistakes on there right now, they're actually mine, not his. He's put something straight to do with a booking system that caused us a little bit of a problem this morning, but nothing too much, nothing the girls couldn't sort out. So that's all done. He's a great guy. Can't recommend him high enough. If you send me a message and you want a really good website building, he's a good guy at a very good price, bless him. Not bad at all. At the Falconry Centre now, it's evening, it's about 7 o'clock at night. Can't believe how the nights are drawing in. And what we've got going on, we've moved some signs around with coats, you saw with coats, Sky's Beak, and some of the bits and bobs that the girls wanted me to sort out for them or for us, sort of thing. Some things on the list. And then what we've done now, or what the girls have done, Joe and Emily and Ursula, Luna's in here and she's been swapped her enclosure for Orion, who's a milk eagle owl. He's just gone off the boil lately on experience days, so he's going to get his sort of rest starting now. He'll probably get a month or two off, to be honest. All the birds, we try and give them a couple of 3 months off. It depends on the species. I'll show you him in a second, but he's in here where Luna was. So he's going to get a couple of months downtime, and Luna's going to get put back up in the air. So let me flip the camera around and I'll sort of talk you through what we do and what's going on. So often you can see his lovely big feather there, look at that. Sometimes when these owls especially go really heavily into the summer molt, they kind of really don't want to do too much. So he looks like a moth-eating thing because he's molting so heavily. He'd gone off the boil on experience days, basically just sitting around staring at everyone with no intention of flying whatsoever. So he's going to have his rest. Now what we do here at Nicholas Falconry, most of the birds get 2 or 3 months off through the year. So for instance, the great grey owl. Now the high northern tiger forests of Europe and up in Alaska, it is hot in the summer, but at the end of the day, in the summer, it's going to sit around doing nothing, panting in a tree with its wings down to cool off and go hunting at night. Our birds fly in the day, so she's a really cold weather owl, and she gets the summer off from about Easter onwards, and then she'll fly all the way through winter. When, say, the vultures in midwinter, they'll get time off, the heat lamps will be on, so they don't get frostbitten toes or anything like that. So the great grey owl, she's just about finished molting now, or he rather, looking rather lovely, absolutely stunning, chilling out. Now, of course, if we fly her here and she's panting and with the wings down because it's hot while she's flying, well, that's what she'll do in her sort of natural place where she comes from and she's evolved in. But at the end of the day, if you're flying her now to our guest's gloves and it's panting with its wings down to keep cool, it doesn't look very nice. It's not stressed, but it is something owls do when they're stressed. So that's when she gets her time off. Spot's doing really well. Sort of Ursul's really took over the charge of flying Spot. Ursul's certainly come a very, very long way since he's been here at Icarus Falconry. Now, look at that. He's a great guy on experienced days. And Spot, without checking his paperwork, he's about 20 years old and he's still got plenty of going in now. One thing you can't smell that I can smell is my hands that stink of polecat, because I was playing with the polecats earlier with Emily and the girl got spooked and she did her polecat stink all over me, even though I've scrubbed my hands twice. Vulture Awareness Day, don't forget, 3rd of September, come and see us. Now, look at Luna. She's had a really prolonged rest and she's going to be back up in the air. This is sort of Emily's baby. One of the few birds, in fact probably one of only 2 birds that's come to Icarus Falconry second hand, like Sky the Lana Falcon hybrid. And if you get second hand birds, they've always got foibles, not necessarily problems as such, and they're not ill or sick, they have foibles that we have to work around, and that's very much more problematic than not having them in the first place. And look at her, absolutely beautiful. So she's in Orion's aviary now. We can see you, Luna. We know you're not a log. You might as well open your eyes and look handsome and beautiful. Okay, you are a log. So owls, as part of their camouflage, if they're worried about something in the daytime, they close their eyes. You can't pretend to be a branch or a log or a pile of rocks and have big goggly shiny eyes. That sort of blows your camouflage. But of course, equally, you can't not look at the danger in case it gets too close. So they'll squint like this, covering up those eyes, really helping their camouflage. But she's watching everything that's going on. Hopefully soon on the vlogs you'll get to see Luna flying again. European eagle owl and the Blakiston's fishing owl, probably the biggest owls in the whole world, and without a doubt, although you can't really see her feet and talons, more than capable of taking down a small fox if she was really hungry enough, and very capable, and in the wild very much part of their diet is other birds of prey like buzzards that they just take out the trees while they're sleeping at night. Make no mistakes, owls are cute. They're absolute nocturnal assassins, and an eagle owl is as formidable as an eagle of the same size. In fact, the talent setup of an owl, absolutely devastating. But of course, she is beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. I hope there's been a bit of variety in here for you. Please come and support us and support the girls. I've put a lot of work into Vulture Awareness Day here at Icarus Falconry. Come and see us on September the 3rd, if you don't come and see us before.